Hi there, it's good to be here again to serve you with this week's edition of the Premium Times podcast. I'm your host, Titilope Fadari. Fathers in the house, there's a gift for you. Oh, not all of you. This week, the Nigerian government approved a 2-week paternity leave for new fathers. In what was the first civil service reform in 13 years, the leave is also for husbands and wives who adopted a baby of less than 4 months. The head of the nation's civil service, Folashade Yemieson, said the reform was approved so that men and their babies also can bond well together. She said it was important because the government wants the young children and the youth to really bond properly with their fathers, just as they bond well with their mothers. Dear fathers that will benefit from this, please note, the leave is for bonding with the baby, not bonding at that pepper soup or beer joint or football viewing center. Like fathers, it seems the reward of teachers is no longer just in heaven. It is now also here. The Minister of State for Education, Chukwuemeka Nwajuba, said Nigerian teachers will begin to enjoy the new salary structure promised by President Muhammad Buhari from January 2022. He stressed that the other incentives range from allowances, housing, training, to elongated service year from 35 to 40. The minister's representative said the government was fast-tracking the process of implementation to get it approved by the president. By this, he said other actors like state governors, the National Assembly, and others will key into this initiative and ensure that the implementation is seamless. This is the least our teachers deserve. We hope the promises are legit this time and not audio. While Zamfara State lifted ban on the shutdown on telecommunications, Kaduna State took over this week while also suspending motorcycles for transport services across the state. The Kaduna State government said this was geared towards checking the activities of bandits. The governor's spokesman, Samuel Aruwan, added that other security measures earlier announced by the state government remain in place and urged the residents to comply with the directives. Kaduna joins Sokoto as states that have initiated a similar measure to curb banditry and rising insecurity. But for how long will this be? And is the end in sight for the war against these bloodletting criminals called bandits? Talking about these bandits, both houses of the National Assembly asked President Muhammadu Buhari to declare them as terrorists and stop deodorizing them with a mild description of bandits. The lawmakers urged the president to immediately declare all known leadership of the bandits wanted and track them wherever they are for arrest and prosecution. The call was fronted by Ahmad Gumi, Buhari's party member in the Senate from Sokoto East, in whose state bandits recently killed at least 20 people and abducted others in Gatawa, a village in Sabon Birni local government area of the state. The community was considered to be one of the villages in the state where bandits have been very active. The attack also came barely 24 hours after another one in Gangara in the same local government area. Concerned that his senatorial district was fast becoming a haven for bandits, Mr. Gobi said the fact that the bandits no longer attack only civilians but also security personnel is proof that the government needs to act fast and treat them in the language only terrorists understand. Will President Buhari listen? It is left to be seen. Meanwhile, self-appointed bandit spokesperson, controversial Islamic cleric Ahmad Gumi, gave an advisory on how people in the terrorized northwest of Nigeria can live in peace with the armed bandits occupying their forests. Mr. Gumi said people can develop mutual relationship with the bandits without being harmed. Wow. He said his interactions with bandits have been easy because he always goes through the door and not the window. The Oniduro of the bandits, Gumi, added that if people listen to the bandits, they would become amenable to to abandoning their violent ways. He said that this is why the bandits have never kidnapped him. Mr. Gumi, who has been an ardent advocate for amnesty for the bandits, noted that he uses the power of human interaction as a social scientist to make the bandits listen to him. Mr. Gumi, a retired military officer, said he was able to gain the bandits' confidence because he treats them as human beings and respects them. Gumi, I hail. As always, this edition was written by Yusuf Akinpelu. I am Titilope Fadari. See you next week. And please do not forget, if you like this podcast, kindly share and favorite, and also visit www.premiumtimesng.com to catch the latest edition of this podcast series.